Welcome podcast fans. Welcome Del Raisers. Welcome Green Deans. Welcome to Let There Be Talk. Episode number 523 today. On this Monday, I think it's, what are we on? Like 17 days of lockdown. I don't know where you're at or where you're hiding, but this is the new norm, the new norm. Nobody works. Nobody goes to concerts. Nobody goes to movies. Nobody, I don't know. It's, I think it's gonna be like this for a long time. And my main thing is, no matter how grim it seems, if we can just stay healthy and positive, we'll come out on the other end of this and we will hopefully have learned a lot of stuff. One of the things we definitely have learned is we are not ready for any kind of pandemic or any kind of nuclear attack or any of that stuff. So, hopefully this will get us, it's changed me. I mean, over the last couple of years, I've been slowly getting rid of everything. And at this time, right now, I feel about 80% good that I still can get rid of some shit and just enjoy life without a bunch of material bullshit. And that's what I'm feeling the most. I'm looking around and I'm saying, this is out of here. And I'm putting that shit up on eBay. I'm putting that on Craigslist. I'm getting rid of this stuff when the pandemic is over. I'm almost there, man. Just down to the vitals. Some outfits, a couple speakers to listen to some music. Zero TV for me. It's been like that since I started comedy 10 years ago. But just enjoy life. And I'm even thinking about reading again. Holy shit. I might read again. If you're hearing an echo on this intro, I'm doing this from the last day of my apartment because I moved the fuck out of this place. Great apartment I've had for about 13 months, but with a slumlord landlord. And Yep, more of the Dean Del Rey apartment saga. Holy shit, man, I could write a book. And maybe during this pandemic lockdown, I will write a book on shit that you should look out for when you're looking at an apartment to rent. A lot of people probably don't care. They're like, fuck it, this is good, and they just move in. But with me, I feel like I've almost mastered it. And I'll talk more about that on my bonus episodes on patreon.com/Dean Del Rey. I've got 66 bonus episodes up right now and a lot of new Patreoners. Let's welcome some of the new ones on. I cannot thank you guys enough out there for supporting the podcast more than ever now. This is amazing when people are down. They're signing up and helping me out. This is great. A lot of good bonus episodes. Jeremy Seifert, thank you so much. Up in your donation. Roman, how are you, buddy? Thank you. David Sapinski. Dave McMillan, up in his pledge. John Rackerby. Christopher Excom. I hope I got that right, buddy. Huge donation from you. Thank you, Christopher Exum. Love it. William Murphy, another solid big donation. Thank you so much. Jared Reed, Eric Driscoll. Awesome. Upped his pledge. Wilson Murray and Graham Much. And my man Brian Spink. All solid humans. You're all solid though, man. If you're listening to this podcast, thank you. And I hope it gets you through some kind of some kind of downtime, or if you're feeling a little grim, I hope this brings it up a little, because I dig doing it for you guys. I dig doing it. Great guest today. Fantastic band. I heard this band, I don't know, I guess it was about somewhere in 2017-ish. This is why I love Sirius XM. I've just got a bunch of stations. I just kind of peel through them, and this song came on, and I was like, wow, who's this band? They're pretty fucking good. And I Shazammed it. Actually, I didn't need to Shazam it. I'm lying there. I just looked right on my screen, and it said who it was. It was White Reaper. And I was like, wow. Crazy name for that sound. White Reaper sounds like it's going to be a metal band, dude. You're going to want to go see White Reaper. They're out there opening for Cloven Hoof and Sarah God. I don't know. I'm just making up names. But anyway, White Reaper, fantastic band out of Louisville, Kentucky. This is a rock and roll band out of Louisville, Kentucky. How you guys doing? Oh, we're all right, man. I'm fucking going crazy from the lockdown. Anyway, Tony and Nick stopped by. They didn't stop by. I stopped by their sound check at the Troubadour a few weeks ago and sat down with them and had a fantastic conversation about their band and their brand new record, You Deserve Love, out on Elektra Records right now. They got a major deal, and Elektra Records is back, which I had no idea, because as I talked to these guys about it, I don't know what label anything's on anymore, because back then, you just turn the record over. Back when I was young, and you just go, oh yeah, these guys are on Elektra, cool, like it was some kind of baseball team. I love Elektra. They got the Doors. They got the Cars. They got Metallica. Fuck yeah, Elektra rocks. But anyway, sat down with these guys. Amazing songs. Tony is a great songwriter, and these guys were just fucking solid dudes. And what a bummer. Right after I talked to them and they played the Troubadour, their tour was canceled, and I don't know what's going on, but they said they were going out this summer with Pearl Jam, and no idea what's going on in any kind of live platform for the rest of 2020. So who knows? But man, support this band. Listen to their music, buy it, buy a shirt, hit them up on Instagram and Twitter. Just great rockers, man. Okay, before we get into the episode, I don't know what kind of vehicle you drive, but if you got a four-wheel drive, say Lexus or Tacoma, fuck yeah. My man Ian wants a Tacoma. I'm like, come on, get one, man. That'd be badass. Or do you got a 4Runner? Listen, you got to get that thing ready for the end of the world, no doubt. What's going on? You got to get that thing ready. Go to RSG Metalworks and get yourself some sliders. Get them on that ride so you can get out there off-roading without messing up your vehicle. RSGmetalworks.com. You know how I love handmade stuff. These guys are making handmade sliders right in Denver, Colorado. Hit them up. They're going to give you $100 off. Use the code DEAN100. That's DEAN and then the number 100. DEAN100. Get $100 off. I mean, you're probably locked up and you want to fix up your ride right now. That's what I'm looking at. Like things as I try to weed out shit. I end up buying other shit, but this isn't shit. This is good American-made steel sliders for your four-wheel drive Toyota, Tacoma, 4Runner, or Lexus GX. Get them up, man. Get them up over there. Tell them I sent you. Follow them on Instagram. I've been going down the heavy rabbit hole of Toyota 4Runners. Just love it. Hit up RSGmetalworks.com. What a cool sponsor that is, right? Handmade stuff. and a sponsor. Nobody else has got 4-wheel drive fucking sponsors. RSG Metalworks. Come on. Dean 100. Okay, let's get into it right now. Stay safe and enjoy these rock and rollers right here, White Reaper, and enjoy your time off by enhancing yourself, reading, listening to music, and try to calm down that stress, man. I've been doing a lot of indoor exercising, and it's helping, man. It's helping. Let's all stay together, man. Let's all stay strong and wash your hands and stay inside. Keep the candles lit. Here we go. Tony and Nick, White Reaper. All right, here we are, another episode of Let There Be Talk, coming to you live from the Troubadour. Great guest today. Introduce yourself, guys.
Hey, I'm Tony.
And I'm Nick.
We play in a band together called White Reaper.
I love it. You did it all serious. We play in a band called White Reaper.
Well, for those who don't know, you know.
Yeah. Somebody was just saying how they hated doing radio in your band, and I felt the same way. And I would give you a classic stupid radio thing. What's it like being a twin? Oh, fuck you. You know that?
Yeah.
But what is it like?
It feels like half a person sometimes, but it's great to have a good brother.
Isn't it? But that's the monotonous of touring. You know, like that Radiohead movie.
You go to different places to have the same conversation with different people.
It's pretty wild that nobody will ask anything outside the box. It's just kind of like they forgot why they were in the business. Everybody gets in the business because they love music. And then I think after a long time, they forget why they're there. And they're like, who's coming in today? Okay, yeah, White Reaper. Oh, yeah, so how's that going? You know, and you're like, dude, you forgot. I think people should be bounced. Like, you're out for now. You got to get the people that have the fire still.
Yeah, I think it's either that or it's like Googling questions to ask someone. Like, you know, Googling what to ask during an interview kind of thing.
Yeah, just if you do like just some research at all, rather than like, and we still get this like 9 times out of 10, I want to say, but... So let me ask you, I gotta ask you guys, what are your musical influences? Definitely Thin Lizzy, right?
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, it's like, of course, we love Thin Lizzy.
Yeah.
Don't you think everybody made that connection? I mean...
Yeah, they hear dual leads, and then they go Thin Lizzy. Like, that's the only band that ever did that. You know?
Exactly.
It's like, what about Metallica, Judas Priest? Yeah. Those guys all did, you know?
Nope, only Thin Lizzy did that.
Yeah. It is interesting, though, because you guys are a pop punk band. You got big hooks and stuff, but then you do have some metal love. You're wearing a Priest shirt today, and I love that, you know, because then it's not like, oh, we're just this type of person.
Yeah, I'm wearing a Judas Priest shirt, but I've been listening to a lot of just like pop records lately, and it's true. It's just like we don't only listen to rock. I think we would be way less interesting, and we're not that interesting to begin with. But if we only listened to one type of music, we'd be such a way worse band, in my opinion. So we try to keep it balanced.
I trip out on people that only listen to one type of music. Those are those people that say there's no good music anymore. You know those people, and you're like, what are you talking about? You know,
I only like one record.
Yeah.
Ride the Lightning.
Yeah, Ride the Lightning.
Yeah, that being said, I do find myself listening to the same albums, like, for years at a time, and not, like, going out of the box, you know? It's kind of bad. I need to explore a little more.
I do the same thing. I have, like, a little sack full of 10 or 12 records that I know by heart, but they're all different and unique from each other, so...
I was listening to the new record today. That song Raw, that thing's pretty fucking rocking, you know? You hear that and you go like, oh, well, there's some serious rock going on that.
Yeah, there are some total shredders in this band. I just play the drums, but there's some serious guitar wizards.
Nick, it's possible to shred the drums.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, if you ask Tommy Lee.
Tommy Lee freebased in that bathroom right there.
Yeah?
Here at the Troop. Yeah, I was there.
Really? No. Oh, I was like, whoa, that's a good story.
No, that was the joke earlier because we're in the green room now, sitting just outside of the bathroom. And we were just like, oh, David Crosby freebased in there.
Yeah. Freebase. Yeah, that's the David Crosby is the era of the word freebase because then later it turned into crack. You know what I mean? I smoke crack. It's like the old timers are like, I remember freebasing. Are you guys drug guys?
For sure. No.
I've been sober for 2 months. This is my first sober tour ever.
Wow.
Yeah.
What were you doing? You quit booze or everything?
I was just drinking heavily before. I was drinking heavily for about 5 years straight. And decided to give it up for a little bit. So we'll see how it goes. I don't know what I'm doing.
It's great, I think.
No, I think it's really good, and I don't think a lot of people understand. I'm not sober, but I'm just commending Nick right now because I think tour is a really hard place to not drink because you show up to a place like the Troubadour at 3 and get everything set up, and maybe that takes 2 hours. What is it, like 5:30 right now, and we go on at 9:30.
Yeah.
So for 4 hours.
I think I'm getting a massage after this. That's a good sober activity.
Yeah, it's a nice sober way to kill time. But there's also, they bring these things to you, and you sit in this room for 4 hours with a couple bottles of wine and tequila and 4 hours to kill. So.
And you're like, fuck it, let's just have one. And then next thing you know, it's just a blur.
Dude, that's the thing I'm worried about dipping back in because that's what everyone says. That's like is that considered a relapse? Am I like sober?
Right.
Am I sober? I don't know. Am I taking a break? I don't know. I feel good. Feels good not to feel bad.
Yeah.
Feels good not to spiral down.
That's a good thing to talk about. Like, what's y'all two's opinion about how long do you have to be off of something to be able to tell someone else that you stopped?
Yeah, I think it's good not to tell anybody for a long time.
Yeah.
And then see if they notice.
Yeah.
And then one day they go like, hey man, I haven't seen you drinking in a while. And you just say, oh, I'm still partying. And they just go, oh, okay, cool. And you could just keep going.
Yeah.
That's probably the least selfish way to do it. That's the nicest way to do it. Because sometimes when you tell someone you're sober, you can see they're a little hurt by it,
Yeah. Or they feel the pressure.
Yeah.
Is this cool around you? Like I quit sugar and people are like, sorry, bro. They're eating candy. I'm like, dude, I'm a grown man. I'm not like, man, I got to suck a dick now for the candy. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Now, this record's on Elektra, and I didn't even know that Elektra was back. What is the history on that? Do you guys know they just fired up the label again?
It was a few years ago, or was it recently? We should know more.
Yeah,
well,
I should too. I'm like a music freak, and
Yeah.
I think that nobody knows what label anything's on anymore.
Right.
Because back then you pulled the record out,
And it was
and
right
there
there.
it was on the label, especially Elektra, and Metallica, all those there it was.
Cars.
The Cars, man.
Queen a little bit.
Yeah.
Doors. But yeah, now it's just the fine print on your phone. So
Yeah.
I don't think people pay a whole lot of attention to it, but with that being said, we are incredibly stoked to be signed to Elektra because, all those bands you named were our heroes. I mean, they still are.
It's a slam dunk in my book.
I don't know how major labels operate now because of, over the years I've heard 360 deals. I played music for 25 years back when the big deals were happening, $1 million deal and 6 videos and all that. But it was obviously a step up from your indie days and stuff. But was it a noticeable like, oh, wow, we've got a little money now, we got a bus or what?
There was virtually no money before, and now there is some.
Right.
Now there's a little bit of money.
Yeah.
And that's all we, it's a great thing to have for like recording because you have to pay people when you record records. You know that.
Yeah.
And paying for stuff, traveling. I don't know, it's good to have resources to do what you want to do and have your vision come to life, I guess.
How does this happen? First of all, how does a band, Louisville, Kentucky, isn't that where My Morning Jacket's from?
Yep.
Yeah. It seems to me these days with the internet world and stuff, you can just kind of play music wherever you live and get it out there somehow. But how did you guys generate some heat as far as early on where you're starting? Were you just playing in Kentucky? Were you touring around the South? What was going on?
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I think it doesn't matter where you're from at this point.
And thank God, too, because back in the day, you had to live in L.A. or New York, and you can't do that now. The rents here are like $5,000.
Yeah.
I'm from San Francisco. Imagine being a San Fran band right now. That would be impossible.
Yeah.
So you can live somewhere cheap. And so were you guys like a band in a band house, or what was going on?
Well, we'd been playing in bands together since we were like 14, and we'd known each other for even longer than that. We've known each other since like fifth grade or something. And yeah, we started playing together, and just it was a bunch of reincarnations of our band, and then finally we got to the age where we were old enough to play shows in other places, and I think that was the biggest thing, because we always told our parents that we wanted to go on tour, and like some of our older friends in Louisville had bands, and they're like, we're going on this weekend thing, like, do you guys want to come? And we're like, our parents won't let us. Sorry. But eventually we got old enough, and we were like, sorry, Mom and Dad, we're doing it. But I think that's what helped us a lot, is that we tried to get out there. We tried to start touring before, people asked us to. Because if you just play Louisville over and over again, only people in Louisville are going to know about you, because Louisville's not LA. Right. So if you don't live in an LA or New York, then like, of course you don't have to, but, make a couple stops in towns nearby so that people hear about you, because I think that's what worked for us.
Were you guys generating interest right away? What do they got there, like a couple clubs, or were you playing just wherever you could play and people started hearing about it?
I think our first show, actually, because Nick and I were roommates in college for like one semester, and then we hated it because we were just like, this is just school.
Our first show was in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Yeah. I don't know what venue it was at.
As White Reaper?
Yeah. And I can't remember what the place was called. Yeah, I have no idea. I think there were like 4 people there, and 3 of them were in another band that was coming on after us. That was the first show we ever played, and then shortly after that, we dropped out, moved back to Louisville, and started playing a bunch of shows there because we knew where the spots were, and it took, like a couple months. And
I remember doing a demo on my friend's farm shed. My friend lived in
a barn.
Yeah, it was in a barn.
Oh,
it was in a barn.
Wow.
Yeah.
What do you have, like a Pro Tools setup? You just went over to the barn?
It was a 4-track cassette recorder.
Oh, like an old Tascam or something?
It was a Tascam.
Oh, that's sick.
And we
actually, Nick got a blood infection
I got a blood infection during these demo sessions where I had a blister on my finger. And I guess it got infected somehow, and you could see my veins. They were very dark on one of my arms.
So scary.
Yeah, they were like turning kind of black.
Whoa!
And it like went all the way up to my arm.
Did it hurt?
Shoulder, I mean, yeah, I felt like a pain in some areas of my body, so I went to the doctor, and they gave me a shot in the ass.
Wow!
Said, apparently, it could kill you. So
kind of like a penicillin shot or something.
I don't know, man.
That's pretty weird. I've never heard of that, like a blood infection, especially right now during the coronavirus.
I could be still infected.
Yeah. Oh man,
it's hard to tell.
So you guys. You do that demo, and do you start passing around like Metallica style, just passing around cassette tapes, or we just posted it up on Facebook or MySpace back then?
We literally start mailing the CD to various record labels, which none responded at all. And
can you imagine that? Like a guy's just in a room, and he's like, hey, look at this band, White Reaper.
Yep, it's right in the trash.
Yeah. There's got to be 1 million tapes coming in a day, still to this day. I was just in Austin, Texas yesterday, and I was talking to these guys that came to the show, and they're like, yeah, we moved out here, man, dreams of being rock stars. And I was like, wow, that still goes down. Moving somewhere as a band, it's such a grind.
It is a grind. Because, in order to have anybody care about you, first they have to know about you and decide that they like you. And you have to put yourself in front of them somehow, and it can be really hard when nobody knows or cares who you are. So I think for us, an advantage we had was that we were young, and people would be like, "Oh, look at these kids."
Oh yeah, kind of like Greta Van Fleet,
Yeah.
or bands when they're young. That's the first thing they can grab onto. Like, we gotta go see these kids.
Yeah, they're like, they look pretty young. That's really cool.
We got it so bad. I still feel like a little kid sometimes.
How old are you guys?
I'm 25.
I'm 26.
Yeah. So you guys been playing for a long time. If you started out at like 14.
It feels like my mom's gonna pick me up any minute.
Yeah. You guys still live out in Louisville?
Yep.
That's pretty cool, right? Because it's got to be kind of cheap to live there.
It's cheaper than here, that's for sure. I mean, I'm still broke. Let it be known.
Yeah. Oh, every band I have on here. I mean, even big bands are like, oh, yeah, when we're not on tour, I work at my buddy's pet store, or I do some construction with my uncle or whatever. And it's just like, I like those stories because these people that don't pay for music or don't go buy a ticket or anything, they just think everyone is rich. It's so bizarre to me. Even me, like, they'll hit me up and they're, dude, you ought to buy that Lamborghini you were driving. Like, I drove a Lamborghini on the track. I'm like, are you out of your mind? Like, a Lamborghini, dude? I'm in a one-bedroom apartment trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's so wild.
Yeah, I was telling someone this the other day, but my only goal right now is to just buy a house one day.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing. Just
Yeah.
buy a house.
I would love that.
Yeah. And you could probably do that goal in Louisville, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe in a couple years.
What is the game now? Is it merch? Is that where the money's at?
Yeah, I mean, I think touring in general, because
Right.
you'll get a pretty solid chunk just for playing the show, and then the merch haul is usually pretty good too. So I think just touring in general, and especially
And then
because
vinyl.
Well, I don't know how much we make off of record sales. I think
It's hard to say.
It's hard
Based on our wallets, it's hard to say.
Yeah. I mean, are you guys selling some records now that you're on Elektra?
I haven't taken a look at the Excel sheet yet.
I think so.
I think so.
Yeah. I don't know. I just pay attention to what's on stage. I like playing shows.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
That's what the label likes.
I
They
don't
like
wanna-
you not to pay attention. They're like, yeah, that's what they love about guys. That's why they used to keep them high and drunk all the time
Yeah.
back in the day.
I don't want to be disappointed when I look at the number, and I don't want my ego to shoot through the roof when I look at the number.
Yeah.
So it's my business, but I don't care.
I mean, you guys are this show's sold out tonight, and you're at a spot now where you're selling tickets. But isn't it crazy when you're starting out? You're just hoping 10 people will come to the gig. It's crazy. You're going around the U.S. and you're like, oh man, 30 people tonight. It's rough, man. You're out there trying to get people to leave the house that are watching Netflix. And they don't want to buy drinks and pay for parking or anything.
On oftentimes like a weeknight.
Yeah,
in
weeknight.
like Salt Lake City. So you're like, who's going to come out to this show on Wednesday? This is our first time here. We're from Louisville, Kentucky.
Yeah.
Turns out the answer is slim to no people.
I haven't been to Salt Lake in a while though.
Yeah, I can't remember the last time we were there, but
Salt Lake's a rockin' town, actually.
Salt Lake rocks. I think it's really pretty, and every time I go there, I have a lot of fun.
We should talk about Area 51 if you've ever been there.
Oh, man, I haven't. Area 51, you mean in Vegas?
No, the
the
there's
club.
a bar in Salt Lake City. Yeah,
Oh, yeah, I played there. That's the rock club?
yeah,
Yeah, I played there with Alice in Chains.
hell yeah.
Yeah, at the mall. It's at that mall.
No, it's across from this homeless shelter.
Yeah, that's it right
yeah,
there.
yeah. We had a hell of a time there.
Looks like a laser. What do you call it?
It does look like a laser tag.
Looks like a laser tag arena in there.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
We met a cyborg that night when we played at Area 51.
Yeah, we met someone there who was explaining to us their magnetic ink tattoos, and they were all circuit boards, and how they were going to be the first human cyborg hybrid and be able to connect their smartphone to their tattoos.
You gotta love that, man.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. And when you run into just somebody cooked from drugs, I mean cooked. you're like, wow.
Now, let's give him a chance.
Okay. Yeah.
If you're listening,
Yeah.
forgot your name, please write into Dean Del Rey.
Yeah.
And
Cyborg, come on as a guest.
Let us know how your progress is looking.
Yeah. Do you guys record just digitally or tape? You guys don't use tape, right?
There was tape involved, but I mean, we did it both ways. I think we've always done it both ways, just to like have both, to have the advantage of like fixing things digitally, but then also the sound of tape.
Yeah.
And it's cool to be able to make music now and be able to do both of those things, and rather than just like, picking one. And I think it's cool.
Where'd you guys record it at?
We recorded in Nashville with this producer, Jay Joyce.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, wow. Nashville is fucking great, man, right now. That's the music mecca. It used to just be country or whatever, but everyone lives there now. If you play music, you live there. Mm-hmm. I mean, Rival Sons are living there. Marcus King's living there. And, of course, what's his name is doing all those great records. Dave Cobb.
Oh, yeah.
That guy's a monster out there. But that's a great, great music city as far as, like, studios are still around, A
lot of history there. A lot of music history.
How long did it take to do the record?
I think we tracked it in like 14 days. January 2019. We spent like, different pockets of 2018 demoing it. So if you like, how long did it take to record? It's like 14 days, but from start to finish, it was kind of a while.
Right.
So
I love this song, 1F. It's hooky as shit.
Thank you.
And I can hear some of the, of course, influences we were talking at the beginning, like, tell me about your... But you know what I really hear on this band, on this record specifically, is Missing Persons. I get a flavor of that.
Haven't gotten that one yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a first.
Yeah, but I mean, I do get a little bit of Missing Persons vibe. And of course, I saw some other people were talking about Rooney and stuff like that. Whenever you have like poppy, hooky stuff, all the way from like when Weezer broke out to now, everybody, they just grab onto like, oh yeah, Weezer, but they're super hooky tunes, man. Who writes the songs? You?
Yeah, I demo them out, and then hopefully in bringing them to the band to learn them, we trim the fat and make them as concise and rockin' as possible.
Do you write a shitload of songs, or just because there's only 10 songs on the record, you just write 10 and record them, or do you have a bunch that didn't make the record?
I think we had like 13 demos.
Yeah, I think there were one or two that didn't make it. Is that right?
I think yeah. Kind of a long time ago. Maybe there's something I'm forgetting. But yeah, there were a few that didn't get on there.
One of the songs that didn't make it, it's called Enchiladas.
Enchiladas?
Enchiladas, and we're working on it. We're trying to get it out there. It's just, sometimes you get in a little log jam. And it's just, we're working on it.
When you started writing tunes, was this the style that you were doing when you started, or did you write like metal tunes, or were you playing straight rock, or did it just come out like this?
It wasn't too far off. I mean, our first like EP little record that we put out is pretty close to what the first songs I ever wrote were. So yeah, I think it's this. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I don't know. Like we've kind of done it all. We've done like Middle of America is pretty metal.
Yeah, it's a little heavier. We haven't done like an all out like shred riffy like double bass like, which would be sick maybe one day. But yeah, I think it's been kind of like this the whole time.
Yeah, I don't know if we're comfortable just doing one thing. We just like to like Tony. I think it does not have a one-track mind in that sense. You listen to everything. It's funny telling you what you do when I'm sitting right next to you, but you listen to everything, and I feel like you want to write everything.
Yeah, I just want to try. I just want to try it.
What are you listening to right now?
I was just talking about this yesterday. We've been actually talking about this a lot. We talked about this earlier, about how people latch onto records, and since it came out in October, this Caroline Polachek record, Pang, came out the same day as our record, but I think I've listened to it every day since it's come out. And then I started revisiting Chairlift after that. So kind of just like that poppier stuff has kind of been dominating my time in the recreational music department lately. What about you, Nick?
Been listening to a ton of Captain Beefheart and a
Wow.
ton of Van Dyke Parks.
Captain Beefheart is so cool, man.
Yeah.
It's just so radical.
I've been trying to just wrap my head around. Like every time I listen to it, I just imagine him in the studio or like whatever he was doing when he was recording vocals, just like smoking a cig. Just be like, I can't. It's just so emotional. It's so weird. So deep. You know.
So great, man.
Such a weird guy.
I think it's cool when you find bands like that too. It just happens kind of by accident. Maybe you're in a record store, something's on, you're like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
That's Captain Beefheart,
Yeah.
you idiot. And you're like, oh, yeah, I love Captain Beefheart. You know, you just...
Oh, of course. How silly
yeah.
of me.
Oh, yeah. I just didn't recognize this song, but I've always... And then you go home and seek it out, and you're like, man, this shit is great.
Yeah. But yeah, since I'm in LA, I've been listening to a lot of Van Dyke Parks as well.
You guys, do you remember your first concert you went to? Because it's funny to talk to somebody that's way younger than me. Who did you see first live concert?
I don't remember it because I was a baby, but my parents have told me that my first show was Cyndi Lauper at Summerfest in Milwaukee.
My first show was CKY at the Tony Hawk's Boom Boom Huck Jam in Chicago, 2001, 2000, 99. I don't know.
It's hard to say.
Anyways, I saw Tony Hawk in the flesh. It was awesome.
Who was the first show you remember?
Who was the first show I remember? I did see NSYNC at a young age.
Whoa, you did?
I did see NSYNC. They came to Louisville and played the old football stadium, and I remember that. Me and my sister were so stoked, and we both got the same T-shirt, and we sat up in the nosebleeds and had the time of our lives.
In Sync, man. I mean, those are some fucking pop machined tunes.
Yeah, I mean,
They're nice to go back to.
I mean, pop is an interesting thing. If you look at the history of pop, man, it's just catchy tunes that you can't deny, and somebody wrote those, you know, like somebody a lot of times wrote these songs for these people, and that's what they did for a job. They'd go in every day and write songs. It's like people that make beats now at labels.
it seems like a dope job.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you think?
I think so. You don't even really have to like the song. You just have to know that it's going to be good. And
Right.
It's just got to be vacuum sealed by the end of it.
Well, there's people that know how to write a fucking hook, like this song 1F. You know, like the video. Right when I heard it, I was like, "Oh, that's a hit." I mean, it immediately.
We'll see.
But I mean, it just fucking grabs you. You know.
Thank you.
And I wrote a lot of songs, and I write jokes now, and I still don't know what quote unquote the formula of how to do it. It gets lucky, like it comes, you're writing on a guitar, and then this melody comes out, and then you got to find the lyrics for it, you know.
I think of it less as like a formula and more of like everyone kind of has this like toolbox or a bag of tricks, and they're like, this usually works pretty good, or this has turned out cool in the past, and it's not like an equation and more of just kind of like, you know, a little bag of tricks, and you kind of navigate whatever terrain you happen to be on that day with your repertoire and what you're comfortable with and what you're good at.
I don't write anything.
I love you, just classic drummer. All your answers are classic drummer. I don't know what we make. I don't write anything. I just want to rock, dude.
It's so true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who are some of the drummers you love?
Keith Moon, Ginger Baker, Nick Mason, Michael Shreve.
You into Stuart Copeland?
Yeah, totally.
That guy, he's got a sound, man.
Yeah. I'm fascinated by what it must have been like playing drums without a cell phone.
Oh.
You know, not having to like look at your phone all the time or like be in touch with the digital world constantly, and how nice it would be to just throw it all away and just play the drums.
Yeah.
You had a few good years of that.
I did have a few good years of that, and it was nice. It's peaceful. I feel like I need to get my head out of it and just kind of, you know, this is not therapy.
It could be.
Yeah, maybe it is. I don't want to be on the internet anymore.
Yeah, I know, man. I mean, it's such an interesting era now. Like they've got the Yonder bags, and some people like Jack White and stuff are like, yeah, you're not coming in with your phone, and they do it in all the comedy clubs that I work in.
That's so sick. We went and saw the Misfits, and they had Yonder bags, and I thought that was the coolest move ever.
Isn't it great, man? Because it's so weird that when you put your phone in a bag, like because it's mandatory, all of a sudden you're like, oh shit, I remember that concert. You don't remember concerts when you go and you're just holding your phone up, taking pictures and then looking at some text and stuff. You just don't remember them. Like I remember the first 500 concerts I ever saw. And then in the last, from 2006, when phones really hit hard, to now, it's kind of a blur.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be on topic eventually, but there's this fireworks show in Louisville called Thunder Over Louisville, and I went there just recently, like 2 or 3 years ago. I've been a lot of times, but 2 or 3 years ago I was there, and the fireworks started going off, and I started taking pictures and videos of the fireworks, and I thought to myself, like, I'm never going to go back and watch this.
No.
And I think it's the same thing with the show. Like, I'm never going to go back and, like, watch this stupid iPhone video of the Misfits because I would rather listen to the song or, like, a professionally recorded live video of the Misfits rather than me in my nosebleed seat. But, yeah, I don't get it.
Yeah, I think the reason we remember the shows that our phones did not participate in, I think the reason we remember those is because of like talking to your friends.
Yeah,
you know,
our friend Zoe, who's been tour managing us on these past couple of weeks, he plays in a band called No Parents. But whenever we've been out in restaurants, because that's another zone where everyone gets on their phones.
Of course,
he plays a game called Phone Hat, and he takes his beanie off, and everybody puts the phone in his beanie, and then you don't get it until you get the check.
Yeah,
and then you just got to talk to everybody. It's great.
That is great.
Phone
actually.
hat.
Yeah. You know, I wasn't really a phone guy until I became a full-blown comedian like 10 years ago. And then I was like, I got to be on it because I got to put, post where I'm at. Then I got to look at it to work. Oh, I got a gig tomorrow night. Oh, this guy just texted me about an audition or whatever. But can you imagine? I don't understand the normal people that are on their phones that aren't in the business. If I wasn't in the business, I'd be like, oh, yeah, just come by if you need to see me.
But the question is, sometimes I ask myself, do we need these phones for this?
Yeah.
Do we need it?
Well, I've always thought about like a punk tour, like a Black Flag tour or a Minor Threat tour. Like, how did they know, first of all, how to get from one city to another? And second of all, what time to be there? Who was going to be there, but like, what did they just call these guys? Like,
yeah, that's what you did. You'd pull off, and you go, dude, we're going to get gas. Call the venue. You get on the payphone, and you'd have a calling card from the record company, or the punk guys didn't have a calling card. They would just, call collect, and then be like, yeah, we're about 2 hours out, But that's the power back then of the fans. Were really powerful back then because they would spread the word, man. Now, I think people are just so kind of lazy. They're like, oh, yeah, I went to the show. You didn't know, man? It was on the phone.
I also think there's like this sort of like competitive nature to it. Like people almost don't want to share like the cool things because it's like, oh, you didn't know that show was there?
Yeah. It's like, oh, you dummy, man. You're not cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty weird. It's a weird era of playing music, and I hope that eventually there is no phones in the venues because I think the people will really take in the music even more and leave like that show was amazing.
I really hope so too, especially for like us as the band being up there and like the people in the first few rows are just all filming, you know?
Yeah.
It's like that's not an exciting group of people to be playing to.
Well, that's what made me kind of tap out of rock. Comedy and plays are the last sacred ground of no phones. You know, there's no comedy. When you're doing comedy, there's not like 9 people. So it's this old school push-pull and this thing where everybody's in it, you know? And that's how rock concerts used to be in there to just be like, oh. And I'm not trying to sound like some old man like back in the day, but I'm just saying the feel of that as being a musician in a band, it was so great. Like, man, these guys are getting off on this right now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm 26 talking about phone hats, so I don't think it has to do with age. I think it's just like, you know, we're tired of it.
Let's talk about, you got the tour now, you're out on tour.
Yep.
Tomorrow, you guys, I saw you're in Arizona doing a free show. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, apparently the green room is a Dave and Buster's or something. That's what the email said.
Oh, shit.
I think I got some credits in my wallet. Use them up.
Yeah, got a couple game cards stacked up in there from tours past.
And how long is this tour?
We'll be home on March 29th, and we left on February 4th. We left on Valentine's Day.
Do you have a summer tour coming up?
We got one in May. I think it's like all of May, the last like 2 days of April and all of May, and then July we're gonna go to Europe and open for Pearl Jam. Hopefully, if this virus gets under control.
Oh, open for Pearl Jam.
Then we'll be over there with PJ. But right now,
that'd be great tour.
That'd be sick. But you know, Italy is like closed right now, so who knows?
I know.
Not that we've heard anything about that. We're just speculating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, South by Southwest just got canceled. Yeah. I think it's only a matter of time that people, you know, either we get right past this, like, it's gone now, or people just freak out and no one goes out of the house.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty weird.
Have you been doing the elbow instead of the handshake? You touch elbows?
Oh, well, I was just at a label meeting at Sony, and the guys
foot.
doing the foot.
The foot, yeah.
All right, man, I'll see you. I was like, what the fuck is that? You're fucking up my shoe. The foot, dude. That's a new one. Oh.
It's funny. I don't mind it.
Oh, my God. All right, let's get out of here, man. Have a great gig tonight.
Pleasure to meet you,
Thank you
Dean.
for doing the podcast.
Thanks for having us.
I like the record. It sounds great. And you know, some good songwriting on there, man. Big time. Some hooky-ass shit. Real quick. I saw you playing 335 down there.
Yeah.
Yeah, is it like... You're like a 335 guy now? Because I've never seen you play one of those before.
Yeah, I was super into the Les Paul sound, but it was just really heavy, and I play this like really thin leather strap. I don't know, because it's just like comfortable to me. But the Les Paul was leaving this welt on my shoulder.
A dent.
Because like the skinny leather combined with the huge block of wood, and I was like, I want something that's a little bit lighter. And so I tried the 335, and I've realized that I liked the neck on it a lot more because it's a little fatter and more like a baseball bat.
Yeah.
So more like a thick neck guy.
I love that, like the 59 neck shape.
Yeah.
That's the best, like half baseball bat.
That's what I'm after. So
that's great, man. I mean, 335s kill.
I think they look so cool.
Oh, they just rock, man.
It's my favorite guitar I've ever played.
Well, thanks, man, and hopefully that Pearl Jam tour happens. And congrats, dude, on the Elektra deal and everything. You guys, very cool,
Thank you so much.
Very cool.
Thanks.
Yeah. All right. There you guys go. Check out their record right away. And they got 3 records out, some EPs. And if you've never seen them, get off the fucking pot. Check it out. White Reaper.
Yo!
I love the band name. When you first see White Reaper, that's a metal band for sure. Yep. Yeah, I love it. Hey, how'd you guys get that name, White Reaper? This is K5 Mom. I'm Don Wizzle. We're here with White Grim Reaper. All right, guys. Thanks, man.